Odumodublvck. Anemone. Man, how you say this man's name? O featuring Bloody Civilian and WALE. Let's get it. What was the overall goal for this music video? How would you describe it?
I think they really wanted a fashion look. I think that was something that was brought up early on, which is interesting because I want a fashion look too. I don't think it's necessarily it's on my reel, but it's definitely what I want to do more of. I've had a lot of people tell me that they really enjoyed this project, and I think that that's really helpful.
I've watched it maybe 6 or 7 times. I'm probably gonna watch it again when we get off. Yeah, I think you guys definitely nailed the high fashion vibe. It gives me Vogue meets Afro beats feeling, you know what I'm saying? And
nice.
So even this shot here, so man, let's dive into this shot, man. Break down this shot for me.
You can kind of like draw a little bit. We've got like essentially like a 12 by pushing warm this way. It's probably got like a I don't even know what I had going into it. Maybe a vortex, maybe a sky panel, something into it. Something not that bright. And then above we had a massive, I think it was like a 12 by 12 or a 10 by 10 softbox that Lou put together for me. It's skirted all around, but then also we had it so that we needed to be able to look at it. You'll see it in some of the later shots. So it had the ability for us to, it needed to look as flat as possible. So I think we double broke it. So it's essentially like putting like 2 different diffusions in it so that the light spreads out as evenly as possible. We tried to like make it so the skirts lined up just perfectly so it looked like an exact square.
And that's it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You know, there's probably some like, you know, some bounce and some negative going on. Like the key, I think, with me, with fashion stuff in particular, especially like darker fashion stuff with darker skin tones, is you need, it has less to do with the actual amount of light and has more to do with the reflection of the light. So like if you bring too much into it, you get a lot of reflection, which sometimes can work. But if you're looking for like more of a tonal look, is maybe the way I describe this, you have to be conscious about how many lights you're bringing into it and how many directions, and making sure that you're dealing with bigger sources closer than the opposite, you know.
Got you. What focal length are you at here? And what camera did you guys shoot on?
This is Venice 2 with what's this? Signature Primes. And I can't remember which focal length. Is probably in the 40s. Looks like it. Maybe like a little bit wider.
Millimeter.
Maybe a 32.
Yeah, that's dope. Man, I love it. Let's go to the next image. Is this the 12 by that you're seeing in the shades?
Yeah, and it actually has a LCD on it, which is like kind of like an egg crate that you put on like a regular aperture. Mm-hmm. You know, so do like a.
Something I liked about this image, and the reason why I paused it here and wanted to go over this frame was, I know most shoots, commercials, some music videos, like you try to hide your fixtures when the artist is wearing shades, but I do feel like that kind of added to it. Like it looks like it was intentional, and it looks like it looks like an extra accent to his jewelry to me.
I think that's really like, I mean, the glasses for sure becomes a problem, and I could bring up some examples of where that has become a problem in the past. But again, I'm talking about like when you're in a dark environment like that, there's a reason. Like if I were just shining light in his jacket, we would not get that much level out of his jacket. Mm-hmm. Some of this stuff right here, like none of that would be there unless there was something that was a reflection. It's essentially the same thing that's happening in his glasses, but it's happening on surfaces, and it's happening in his jewelry. It's giving a reflective source that can bring level to that, and it brings his eyes out. That was a huge issue that I kind of had in this video, which is that hat, just because of the way it sat and how close it was to his eyes, really blocked a lot of the light on his face. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you'll see that I kind of gave a lot of notes to him to look up a little bit and kind of open up a little bit more and to shoot up so that he would look up. But I think that the fact that we can see the reflection in the glasses brings those glasses out. It brings out even just like the little, you can kind of see these little notches here, like those details is like, when you're dealing with so little level, that's really important to have something there.
I love this frame for multiple reasons. The 2 females that are in the front, they're standing on like these boxes. I did a music video similar to that with a female artist in the middle performing, and how you have the 2 girls that's sitting on the chairs, those were also boxes in my music video. That's one reason why I like it. It reminded me of that video. The second reason I like it is the symmetry. I think the symmetry is fire. Third reason I like it is the reflection on the floor, the mirror. I just think that's sick,
Yeah.
and whoever's idea that was is dope. And then the fourth reason is this huge light that's above him. What is that?
That's a softbox. Like I said, it's double broken, and it's like it's trying to be as flat as possible. We want to make sure that when we look up at it, especially in this shot, that it looks like a square. Basically, what this is a 10 by. It's a 10 by frame that you take a 12 by rag and you put the 12 by rag. I could just like draw what's happening. So basically, you attach the 12 by rag to these corners, so that normally when you have a rag, there's going to be that gap between where it's tied to the frame and the edge of the frame. If you tie it up top and stretch it across the entire frame, and then you use these like couplers that like to keep it taut along it, you don't see the gap. So like normally there'd be like this gap along these lines, like on the outside of the frame. But since it's tied up to this top part of the frame, you don't see those.
Right. So is that that's not the only light being used in the shot, right? I see these like can lights up in the ceiling. What are those?
Yeah, so there's AX5s or AX1s or Astera makes these. Same people that make Titan tubes and the Bolton Hicks bulbs. They're usually for stage stuff, but they're pretty accurate downlights. There's a Future Live Performance that was a reference that they liked, and so I was trying to recreate that, and that would have played better if we had the low-lying fog work, but the low-lying fog unfortunately did not work well. The goal was to have it shoot down into the fog and do like movements and like patterns and things like that as once we turn this big main line off.
Yeah, so basically like seeing the light dancing in the ground of the fog, right? Yeah. This thing here, this is so sexy. So sexy. You break this shot down to me.
So this is what the whole video probably would have looked like if it was a fashion film. I think this is there's a few things that it didn't land, just again having a lot of trouble with the haze. You know, you can kind of see especially back here how it's just kind of getting caught in these doorways a little too much, not thick enough. But my whole idea is kind of like imagine like a lighthouse in the fog. That's really what I was looking for. Have some, you'd probably see it in the video, it's like pulsating. That was like a huge part of what I was looking for. There's a lot of lights deep in the warehouse, trying to bring as much space as possible. It was a little too dark at first, so I added this side garage door over here. Essentially just a big warehouse, and these garage doors, I'm shooting light through the doorways, but trying to is the opportune word, because you can kind of see one right there. Trying to hide the light while still having the light from the light,
be seen. Yeah.
This is top-down lighting. This is that softbox. Everything else is off except for the softbox, so we're just rotating around them.
So this is just one top-down light?
Yeah, one big top light.
Is that the light, the same light that you guys had rigged before, and you just positioned him under it? Okay.
Yeah, and I can't remember what we had in it. It was probably vortexes, maybe sky panels, but yeah, it's had lights in there, and then they're all controllable with the wireless DMX.
And then what we're seeing falling is that's VFX? VFX,
yeah. So here's WALE doing his thing. So this is actually, the lights were working in this. We're doing the down lights. This wasn't, we're not looking at the floor. We moved away from trying to see the floor too much because it wasn't playing as much as it should have. But this pillar worked really well. This angle in particular, you can't really see the lights pushing this way, but it's nice because it has a little bit moodier. There's still we're still getting enough of it on his face here. Just trying to look out, trying to bring as many leading lines into the look as possible. His glasses are killing me a little bit. Which, it's hard to see their face, but they look cool.
Yeah. So is this is still up under is it a 12 by?
Yes, but the 12 by is not on.
12 by is not on here. It's just those can lights.
Can lights, and then the softbox over here.
Got you. Which is
the can lights are
it's an 8 by, right? Is that what you told me? Off on the side? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I turned the lights off on, all the lights on this side are off.
Gotcha. And then intentionally you kind of stayed on the shadow side.
Yep.
Fire video. If people hadn't seen it, they need to go check it out. Blood on the dance floor. I'm not gonna butcher Buddy's name. I'm gonna call him O. featuring
Yeah,
featuring Wale and featuring the beautiful Bloody Civilian.
She killed it.
Yeah.